Hey everybody, Chris here. So Dogecoin, nothing has really changed. And you're wondering, Chris, why are you telling me nothing has changed? Why do I even want to watch this video? Because there's a lot of bears out there. A lot of people think that the cycle has already topped. We're only going to go down from here. The news is all negative. Well, not really. There's some things building for Dogecoin. I'm going to tell you about that. Also, on the high time frame structure, Dogecoin still looks good despite the flash crash we had on Friday. And yeah, about that flash crash, Dogecoin wasn't the only one that did it. And now the short-term structure of Dogecoin is very similar to just about every other cryptocurrency. So it's a whole market event, not just Dogecoin. And could this be the spring point for Doge turning around and moving back up higher October and November? We're going to talk about that. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And during the live streams, we expand these discussions, have a lot of Q&A, talk a lot about leverage trading and market manipulation and all of that stuff. So join in on the lives. But for now, let's get into it. Let me show you the charts on the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here with the current Dogecoin chart, and we're still right below 20 cents. Yeah, nothing has changed, right? Right below 20 cents. Although, earlier this morning, we zoom in, and we see this big wick coming down here. That's right. The market makers did it again, right? Bring the price down, take out more leverage longs, right? Because they can. And then the price comes back up. And we see that with Bitcoin, too, at 111. Big wick down, taking out new leverage traders who are coming in and betting the price is going to continue to move up, but instead they drop the price, take out the leverage, and then we're free to move higher. I mean, that's what this has been all about since Friday, right? That's what's been going on. And we look back at this event, right, that we had from Friday. Bitcoin was right up here, right below 123. We were looking to retest that, get through that resistance, retest it as support, and move higher. And instead, the market makers took over. And we compare this chart, right, to ETH. Same thing, right, all the way down and back up. But for particularly with Doge, what we're seeing is this flattening of the price, flat across, right? This is what I'm calling chop right now, and it's really kind of a small chop. The volume was way up on Friday, and it's just, there's almost no trading volume now. This is probably all just algo bots, sort of fake liquidation on the markets, which is, of course, what we had on Friday, too, and why the alts dropped so much. We talk about that during the live streams as well. But you look at this Doge chart, and you're like, oh, this looks so boring. Doge sucks. And I'm just like, have you seen the other charts? I mean, there's Algorand, right? Same thing. Look at Cardano. It's the same. Look at HBAR. It's the same. Even Sheeb, right? It's the same. Shall I continue? Shall I continue? How about VeChain? It's the same. How about XRP? It's the same. How about Kronos, right? It's the same. How about AVAX, right? It's the same. What about Ethereum Cloud? You get the picture. Even with the even with the wick we had this morning, right? They all did it. The market makers are in cahoots, right? They're all doing the same thing because the exchanges don't want you to win. And they want you to be disillusioned. They want you to sell your crypto so the whales can come in, buy at lower prices, and then when it goes higher, you're out, right? And they're winning. The exchanges don't want you to win either. That's what's going on. So overall in the market, look, right? Regardless of all the madness this month so far, Bitcoin, ETH are pretty much flat for the month of October. And all of these other, right, cryptos, right, just like, however, October, November are by far Bitcoin's best months of the year on average. Asset performance, no guarantee about the future, but seasonality is something that's very evident for Bitcoin and other markets. So always be aware of when you're in a good or bad phase of the market and cycle in terms of seasonality. And typically we have all these green Octobers we talked about, but right now it's a little bit in the red. Well, we're only halfway through the month. People are saying, oh, October, it's a joke, everything's, and I'm just like, we're only halfway through. this can still turn around. Now, we have this U.S. government shutdown right now, right? And that's kind of putting a damper on things, right? And so while everyone's kind of this wait and see mode, right? Like I showed you, the volume's flat. There's just not a lot of trading. Everyone's in this wait and see mode. What's going to happen? So that doesn't really encourage the markets moving up right now. So nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed on that, but nothing has changed on this either. This could still turn around in green. And even if it's red, we have seen a green month following a red month in Bitcoin's past. So we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. But we're ready for it. Crypto Rover says, look, Jerome Powell, he gave a speech the other day and he talked about the easing, right? Quantitative tightening, getting back to easing, right? And we think the rate cuts, right? There's like a 96% chance there's going to be a rate cut at the end of the month. We got the FOMC meeting on October 29th, right? So that's good news. That's still out there, though. Government shutdown will eventually end. Let's get the politics all working out. Again, I still think it's probably going to be October 20th, next Monday, but we'll see whether Chris is right on that. So all of these good things are coming as far as, you know, what's happening in the news. Meanwhile, ETH versus Bitcoin just made a clear trend line reset after breaking out. And this is a typical thing you see on charts, right? You see this long-standing resistance line, right? Finally breaks out above it, comes back and retests, and then moves higher. That's typically what we see. And this could be ETH versus Bitcoin, which is, of course, the rotation into alts goes through ETH first, and then the rest of the alts and the memes. That's that rotation we're waiting for. Of course, Bitcoin dominance is looking to drop down. We'll look at that on the live stream as well. Look a little bit more at Bitcoin dominance and what that structure looks like. Also, how about the Russell 2000? People are talking about the Russell 2000, right? It's breaking out. It's just hit a new all-time high. And typically what happens, the Russell 2000 and the altcoin market cap do the same thing. Back in 2021, they peaked, right? We had the Russell 2000 peak, and then shortly after, we had the altcoin market cap peak, just shortly after the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 went into a bear. Well, guess what? So did the alts. Now, of course, the percentage of the alts is much greater than the Russell, but the structure of the actual charting is almost identical. It's almost identical. And then when the tariff thing came, right? Russell 2000 went down, alts went down, right? But recovering back up since the drop in April, recovering back up, Russell 2000, now all-time high. Alts just touching an all-time high now. Again, it follows the Russell. So history shows the U.S. markets and crypto alts often move in sync. If Russell breaks out, ETH and alts will follow. And we have a new all-time high here on the Russell 2000. So that's interesting, right? That's not, Russell 2000 isn't tanking. It's going higher. Oh, but stocks, they're way overvalued. And you hear all that, right? But guess what happens? They keep going up. And even if gold is up and silver is up, hitting new all-time highs, so is the stock market. That doesn't mean that crypto should be tanking, right? Crypto's going up. It's all going up. And a lot of that is inflation, right? Money supply, more money, more inflation, right? A lot of it, the prices have to go up just to keep with inflation. So all that is going on. So what does that mean with Doge? Well, Doge. We've seen this before. We've seen this before where Doge breaks down, people get bearish. This was at the end of 2023 into 2024, and then Doge took off. Same thing happened here. The end of last summer. Now we were going into the fall, and I was telling you this is a gift, right? Just like 2023 was a gift. 2024 was a gift too. Prices dropping below 10 cents into the nines right there, which you could have bought a year ago. So it's like, be bearish. This is just going to go down. Nope, it flips over and it goes up. And now here we are again, bearish, right? Everyone bearish on Doge. This is what could happen, though. It could just turn around and go back up. We've seen this structure before. Again, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. We're in the fall now. Fall has been very good for the markets. Nothing has changed. and the high time frame structure, just because we had that big wick, right? We zoom out and we look at what happened in the past, right? 2019 into 2020, we had this big triangle and then break out. So why not? Now it's a shorter triangle because it's I mean, you could kind of pull this out a little further on the bottom end, right? The bottom end of this. The top, though, we did have that explosion in November. Trump won the U.S. presidency, Elon Musk and Doge, right? Department of Government Efficiency, the hype around that. So Doge got a little artificially inflated there on that price up to 48 cents. And some are saying, well, that was the high, that's it. Doge is just going to die out from here. But the structure is showing yet a breakout to come. And the news is good too. Thumbs up. We had talked about this, Donald Trump Jr. is backing this company, right? We talked about Doge Hash and thumbs up already. Bitcoin treasury, right? But they're branching into Doge, and it's going to be in Dogecoin mining, right? Because they're going to buy Doge Hash. They already have an agreement in place. It's going to take a little while to finalize that agreement. Not only that, but they also have loaned Doge Hash a bunch of money to buy more Dogecoin miners to increase their mining capacity, because they know Dogecoin mining is the future, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining is the competition for those awards are just too intense. But on Doge is becoming more profitable to mine than Bitcoin. That's what's happening. But now, thumbs up in their mobile app, they're considering adding Doge as a reward payment. That's right. Publicly traded digital asset treasury advertising firm Thumbs Up Media is considering integrating Dogecoin into its reward payment system for the Thumbs Up app. The app users with cash rewards when they share content about advertisers' products. But Thumbs Up believes integrating Doge as a payment option could lower fees and improve settlement of cross-border micropayments. And that's the thing right there. Cross-border micropayments, right? With fiat, right? You got to do all the conversions, right? From this currency to that currency. But one Doge always equals one Doge. Doesn't matter. You just use Dogecoin. Listen to this. Exploring Dogecoin in integration is an important next step in our journey to create a scalable, low-friction rewards engine, says Thumbs Up CEO Robert Steele. If successful, this change could improve our unit economics and increase appeal to a broader crypto-friendly creator base. And that's what's happening, right? All you young guys out there, right? You're all into crypto, but yet these kinds of old structures of fiat just continue and continue. It's like, make that transition. Now they could use stable coins, right? And they could use, but Dogecoin, much more relatable, great, low fees, transaction speeds, all of that are awesome. I mean, all of this thing continues to grow, right? From the House of Doge and what they're doing. We've talked a lot about Clean Core and Bragg House and how they're building this system and partnering with more companies for the adoption of Dogecoin. We see Doge OS building utility. That's coming up. So all of this is being built for Doge. And yet Dogecoin trades just kind of chopping sideways right now. But nothing has changed, again, overall for Dogecoin, right? It still is this great, potential, like unlocking of how it can be used for payments, for adoption. And is the wild card Elon Musk going to come in and do something with Doge? He hasn't forgot about it. He's still aware. And we're just waiting. So that's out there too. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about all this with Dogecoin? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.